I just found out my wife has been using work trips to cheat. Any advice? I don't know if I could ever forgive. I and my wife have been married for a bit over 6 years, we have 3 young children, one of them special needs. Things started out great but the intimacy dropped off soon as we were married, once a month if I was lucky. She works for a major airline so travels quite often. I work for a home building company so averaging between 55 and 60 hours weekly. After a huge fight just last week we both shared what we needed and agreed to stay together, but both of us would need to work on the relationship. The past few months her travels have become much more frequent and everything came to a head last night. She was supposed to be going to see an old friend and as usual I had no idea anything could be wrong. Putting my special needs child in bed, I took the tablet he was playing on and noticed a Facebook Messenger notification. Curiosity got the better of me and knowing I shouldn't, I opened it. There were pages of video calls between her and another man and both of them saying I love you to each other. When she got there she sent me a cute pic of her and her friend. I never asked and never implied she could have went elsewhere, but seeing all these messages I dug in Facebook a little and saw the exact same picture posted months ago. I'm 100% sure she is with that man right now. I haven't confronted her yet, waiting until she's here to do so. Part of me wants to have her stuff on the lawn when she does get here, but a bigger part can't stand to do that to my kids, and I truly do love this woman. Comment. Don't confront her. Talk to a lawyer first. You have kids and one is special needs. If you confront her, she could just leave and dump the kids on you alone, which sounds like she has done already. You need your ducks in a row first. You need to get advice from a lawyer. For instance, are you in at fault state? In which case, you will need evidence of her cheating, so you have to wait to catch her and get screenshots from the Facebook. If she is using joint money to go see her affair partner, then you need evidence of that to get your money back. You also need to really think about custody and put tons of boundaries in custody agreement against her having random men around your kids. There is a lot you have to think about, and you cannot really do that if you are confronting her and arguing and having her try to manipulate the situation. Screenshot everything and send it to yourself and the cloud. She will try and destroy it. Talk to the lawyer because you have children that have to be protected. Remember, the time she spends with the other guy is time she could be with her children. She chose another man over not just you but her own children. Be strong for them. Say nothing till you speak to a lawyer. Your children are innocent. You are their protection. Do not confront until you have ironclad evidence and it's all saved. Do not confront until you've mapped out your next steps. What do you want? Do not stay with your wife for the kids. You stay because you truly believe you can have a great trusting marriage until death. If not, divorce. Do not pretend you can overlook this. Women leave emotionally before they leave physically. Her heart is with this other guy. Understand that. She doesn't respect you. You absolutely speak with a lawyer for a consultant before you talk with her. You absolutely record all future convos with her. Does the man have a spouse? Can you contact her? You do not allow her to run the relationship moving forward and dictate the future. I would highly recommend divorce, but I've been on Reddit long enough to know that it sounds like you may want to reconcile. If you're that type of guy, there has to be consequences and tighter boundaries moving forward, and she must do 90% of the work showing that she wants the marriage. I think you should sneak back at this point to achieve the desired. Keep yourself calm and do not let yourself down until everything is under your control. And do not think about your kids too much, that they probably will be more happier than being between two broken parents. After that, if you want to forgive, believe me, your own feelings at the moment will wear you off slowly. If your wife wants to reconcile, just demand the time she's stolen from you. Next story 2. My boyfriend wants me to stop talking to my closest friend of 20 years. What should I do? I want to preface this by saying that boyfriend and I have a really great relationship generally. He's really funny, smart, and sweet, we have similar interests and we communicate seamlessly. We're very attracted to each other and he's also not controlling at all. After we started formally dating, my boyfriend met all my friends, including M28 whom I'll refer to as Alex, and I met all of his. He has a couple of female friends in his group too. My BF knew Alex and I have known each other for over 2 decades. We lived in the same street and went to the same school, and his sister and I were in the same year, until I moved to a different city. We still kept in touch and are extremely close till date. He's what I'd call my best friend. I'm also extremely friendly with Alex's sister and his parents. Now I have to admit that Alex was briefly in love with me some years back and had confessed his feelings to me. However, I did not feel the same way, so we decided to give ourselves some time to get over it, and became friends again, when Alex was completely over me. He's had a couple of girlfriends since then, and I've dated other guys too. From my side, there's been absolutely no romantic interest in Alex whatsoever, which my BF knows. Alex also now lives in a different city, so we barely meet more than maybe a couple of times a year. We do text daily though, and Alex is probably the first person after my BF I go to when I'm sad or have something happy to share, and I'm obviously deeply fond of him. Recently, my boyfriend expressed to me that he thinks my relationship with Alex is a red flag for him, and he'd like me to reduce the frequency of contact between me and Alex. He said he thinks Alex is waiting for me to reciprocate because most guys think along these lines. I was completely blindsided by this, and told him I found this completely unfair and unfounded. Alex has never crossed any boundaries, and he's always been very respectful of my relationship with BF. My BF also has my phone passcode, not to check it, but just to use it or make calls and such, so there's nothing in my conversations with Alex that I hide from my BF. He's privy to all my texts and calls with everyone. He said it's the tone of Alex's replies to me and the frequency of texts that's making him uncomfortable. While I felt it was unfair, when he asked me how I'd feel if he was continuously in touch with a girl like that and that emotionally affectionate towards another girl, I realized that I might have felt a little insecure or threatened too. I really don't want to stop talking, or talk less, to my friend of 20 years. It's fun to text him about my day and send him silly reels. I feel the hypothetical comparison BF made is unfair, because I've known Alex so long, and it's completely platonic only. But I also don't want to upset or make my BF feel insecure or uncomfortable. I have no clue what to do or what's right in this situation, so turning to Reddit for inputs. Comment. I'll probably get downvoted to hell for this, but here goes. If you and Alex had never had feelings for each other, I would think your boyfriend had overstepped. But that is not the case here. You may not have ever thought of Alex romantically, but Alex has confessed his feelings for you. He may say he is over them, but I would bet you my next paycheck that if you broke up with your BF and asked Alex out, he would be on the next flight to see you. You are sharing reels and texts daily. He calls you beautiful repeatedly. You know who I text daily and who calls me beautiful repeatedly? My husband. Alex continuously oversteps the bounds of friendship, especially in light of his affection for you. And I think you know it. Please ask yourself if your relationship with Alex mimics platonic friendships you have with women. I'd bet it doesn't. I am not an overly jealous person, but if my husband had this dynamic with another woman, I would be uncomfortable with it, and I think your BF is within his rights to express that he is uncomfortable with it and ask you to take a step back and not be so close with Alex. Okay, so Alex asked to feelings for you. You backed away from the friendship for a time, then when he got over your rejection you picked the friendship back up. Yeah, he's not over you. He's playing the long game, waiting for you to come to your senses. If your BF is uncomfortable, don't blame him. Guys, know how guys think better than we know how y'all think. So keep that in mind when a guy is telling about another guy. Alex told you he had a crush on you, and he probably still does. Your boyfriend knows that and realizes that Alex is waiting in the wings to replace him if he gets a chance. However, I don't see your problem. Your boyfriend didn't say go no contact, he only asked you to reduce the frequency of contact. Is that too much to ask in order to respect your boyfriend's feelings? You should also realize that many, if not most men, would tell you him or me. I'm going to say something that will get a lot of blowback, but that is fine. Most women don't grasp when a guy has interest more than just being platonic with them when the woman isn't interested in being romantic with them. It's like they think that since she rejected him to only be friends, that is the way he now thinks as well. Guys will orbit for years until they get the break they want. Matt Rife had this in his stand-up routine, and while funnier than shit, it was true. For all the women out there who don't believe that is true, try this on Saturday night at around midnight. Text your platonic friend, tell them you are feeling lonely and could use some company, and get their response. I'm guessing if Op texts this to Alex, he will beat the text back to her place. And I do think guys and women can be platonic friends. My best friend is a woman. But she has never had a crush on me, or I her, and have both been in LTR. But I also don't text her every day, call her beautiful, or come anywhere near giving her as much attention as my wife.